One player not going to be in action tonight. That's Victor Wembanyama. He shut it down after playing in just 2 summer league games. And a question, right, it's come up a whole lot, is about Victor and his frame. Is he built to be durable? Should he bulk up? And Victor's agent, he said he's not too worried about that. He talked to our Mark Spears and he said, quote, "We're going to fight to not put weight on his body." This is from Mark's Anscape story. He said weight on his body is a big mistake. We focus on strength. We focus on core. We're very pleased that he linked up with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who played until he was 41 years old. That's the path that we want to see him take. Kareem wasn't heavy. Victor, he's more mobile. He's taller than Kareem, making him heavy. We don't want to do that. So, Richard, Perk, there's a whole lot here that's been made about Victor Wembanyama's his physique. His agent alluded to all of that. He thinks putting on weight, it would be a big mistake. We've also heard Victor say, well, why should I bulk up? People should skinny up. Really, for him, it's about being stronger, not being bulkier. And that's the line he's trying to walk. But you played, Perk, with super skilled guys, right? I'm thinking of Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett. Both are also slender. Do you think that he should be focusing on strength? How do you view all of this, Perk?
Well, one, you should be, what is it, skinny and up?
Skinny
that's
up,
what he said?
bulk up versus skinny. That's what he said to Robin Roberts.
That's what I need to be doing. Now, we're not asking Victor Wembanyama to go out there and look like me. We're not asking them that. But I want you to take Giannis Antetokounmpo, for example. He put on size, he put on muscle, and it did just wonders for him. That's part of the game. And even though you look at a guy like Kevin Garnett and you can say, oh, he wasn't the strong, like the biggest, but he lived in the weight room. And I think Giannis is a prime example of let's not overthink things when it comes down to basically investing in your body. Even looking at a LeBron James, look at the size, the strength that he put on. Although he was already a physical specimen coming out of high school, but look at him now, look at him then to look at him now. So I'm not really, buying what his agent said because he does have to get in the weight room. And I think Summer League was a prime example of that because although he did have a nice game too, it was still signs that showed us that, hey, you have to improve when it comes down to being in this paint area.
Well, his agent's wrong. His agent's flat out wrong. And I think,
well,
no, it's flat out wrong. And let me explain to you why. He's talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Should we go compare Kareem at 19 at UCLA? He's probably bigger than he was at 19 at UCLA. And you want to compare to Kareem, and Kareem did play 20-plus years. Kareem also played in the 70s, in the 80s. Now, I'm not saying Victor's got to go gain a bunch of weight. Do you know who his agent also has? Rudy Gobert. Do you know who played with Rudy Gobert his rookie year when he was a two-way player? Me right here. Rudy's bigger than he was. Not big and Shaq. No, he's stronger. No one's saying that Wembanyama's got to get bigger. They're saying he's got to get stronger. He can list Kareem. Well, we're looking at Kareem. That's not the only comp out there is a guy from the 60s and 70s. There are lots of players over the course of their career that got stronger. It's not just bigger. Kevin Garnett, from his rookie year up until, let's say, year 7, he might have gained 10 pounds of muscle. Maybe that's all it is. But we're going to sit here and really say against the biggest, strongest people in the world because, yes, Victor Wembanyama looks like amazing in Summer League at 7'4", until he's playing against Giannis, who's 7 feet with 50 more pounds of muscle on him. That's a different monster. And if Victor's going to be dominant, he doesn't have to get big. He just needs to get stronger. But don't go referencing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who at 19 was playing at UCLA for 2 more years, getting stronger under John Wooden, and then went and played. So I understand in principle what he says, but don't fight it, bro. He needs to get stronger because the people he's going to be guarding are twice as strong.
No, Rich, I ever told you I love this version of you. When you go on these rants and get to really speaking the truth, I actually love this version of you, man. I really do.
I'm still waiting to find a version of you I like, so I'm glad that we've at least settled that on my side. I'm so glad we found that. I'm trying to figure it out as best I can, bro.
Perk, it's every version
There's been a few
that I don't just like. I love. But, Richard, there's nothing I can do to follow that. That was, I think you left it all at that. And the only thing that I will say is I do think when Victor talks about getting stronger, a byproduct sometimes, inherently, it's not, oh, I'm going to go out and add X amount of mass. A byproduct of getting stronger is getting just a little bit bulkier, even if it's more of a Kevin Durant model potentially than a Giannis Antetokounmpo model. Victor, his future, it is bright, though. One day, maybe, he might be up for NBA Player of the Year at the ESPY Awards.
I believe so.
I'm ready. I'm willing to rain. Try me, you'll be feeling the pain. Too wild, I can never be tamed. Copper cause I'm breaking the chain. I'm willing to rain. Try me, you'll be feeling the pain. Too wild, I can never be tamed. Copper cause I'm breaking the chain.
He's obviously had injury history, a little bit of off-season drama.
It comes down to health.
You can't trust him.
I don't think this guy is going to put in the time to be great.
Zion's value is debatable.
All right, so it's summertime. NBA players, they have a little extra time. They chat, they sit in front of the microphone. The question is, do you believe everything that they are saying? So we're going to play a little game. We're going to call it cap or no cap. And for those that are not familiar, get familiar. But if you're capping, you're lying. And we're starting with Zion Williamson. He missed all of the 2021-22 season, only played in 29 games last season. He was just on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, Gil's Arena, while in Las Vegas. And he discussed the changes he's making to get back on the court. Take a listen.
This summer, has it been more cardio or more dieting? Like, what has been your thing that, like, all right, I can do that to help me get my weight up?
So the diet piece, I'm always able to come back each summer feeling good, looking good. Yep. But I would say it's more of just locking in on, like, flexibility, band work, because I think it's those things that will be able to keep me on the court longer versus just losing a bunch of weight. I don't want to be on the sideline. Y'all think I want to sit over there hurt? I don't. But like I said, like Coach K taught me, got to own up to my responsibilities. There are a lot of things that I could have done better that I didn't, and I'm in the process of, fixing those wrongs.
All right, Perk, cap or no cap?
Oh, that's all the way cap. That's all the way cap. And here's why. Let me explain something to you guys. Before they stopped drug testing for marijuana in the league, they used to do it when I was in there. And damn it, I was in a drug program, okay? And I wasn't. I'm not ashamed to tell it. And you get assigned to a network doctor. And the first thing you do is when you're in the program is got to do what? You actually got to admit that you have a problem. Sure. And you got to find out how you're going to solve the problem. Zion Williamson really don't realize that he has a problem. For him to say he's not really worried about the diet portion of the situation, that's a huge problem, because that's exactly what he needs to do, is make sure that his diet and his nutrition is on point and everything else will fall in place. Prime example, Jokic. His body looks phenomenal. He's been on a diet, nutrition, got a chef. LeBron James, the same thing. Like, that is all cap. It's not just band work and stability. When it comes down to Zion, it's about his nutrition and being able to sustain that throughout the period of time. But the fact that he can't recognize that is why I'm calling it cap.
I agree. I think until he owns up, and I'm going to be really honest, I don't think Zion knows what he's doing. I don't think he knows how to do it. There's never been anything that can prove us, right? Does he need to look like me? No. Does he need to look like Perk? No, but he spent more time looking like Perk than he has me over the course of his NBA career. So to tell me that this man knows what he's doing is, I think it's band work. And bro, you've missed 2.5 seasons. If we go back to Duke, you've missed more basketball than you've played. So I'm not going to sit up here and listen to him and make me believe that he knows what to do to get back on the court, because if that's the case, why has it never been done? So I think it's cap. I want him to prove us wrong. That's all.
Let's stick
want him
in the
to prove
West
us
here.
wrong.
Minnesota has $90 million committed to 3 centers this year. Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid. I had a chance to speak with Karl-Anthony Towns, his super agent Jessica Holtz, over the weekend at NBA Con. But I asked him about that really big 3, and here's what he said.
For anyone that says in the modern game 3 bigs can't work, what's your message?
Yeah, watch us.
Ramona, cap or no cap?
I think it's no cap. I think he is fine with the current construction. Like, he's excited about playing with Rudy Gobert. He's excited about being healthy. He appreciates Naz Reid as a backup center there. And Karl won the 3-point contest. He's not a traditional center. He's a stretch 5, a stretch 4, if you want to call him that. He missed so much of last year with a torn calf. Tore it once, came back a little too soon, tore it again. We really never got to see this, and so I know there's all this talk about how this needs to be Anthony Edwards' team. I know how Karl feels about it. Fine. If you want it to be Anthony Edwards' team, that's fine. They're friends. They love playing together. So I don't think he's lying there at all. I think he wants to just get healthy and see what this looks like for as long as they will give this experiment.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a dark horse there. All right, let's go to the West. stick in the West rather, Dillon Brooks, the Rockets, 4-year, $86 million deal in free agency. They reached that. So Houston also has the second worst record in the NBA. That's last season. And despite that, Brooks, he had some interesting comps for his new Rocket squad here, Richard.
It's like almost the exact same team from 3-4 years ago. Kind of have the same type of players. Jalen Green, like John Moran. Jabari's like Jaren. You know, these young guys that can expand their games and be one of the best or the best in the league.
All right, Richard, the Rockets are the new Grizzlies. Cap or no cap?
I think there's a chance. I think no cap. Look, I had a brief encounter with Dillon Brooks, and I told him, like, hey, this is your chance. It's your opportunity. Like, he knows how crazy this past year has been for him, his team, his performance, and then you still get your money, and then you get an opportunity to go be a veteran for what you are calling a young team that's very similar to what you had in Memphis. So now he is the perfect person to use all the mistakes that were made in Memphis, come to Houston and be like, okay, we can talk trash and be this, but let's make sure we do our business. Let's not poke bears in the middle of the postseason. I made that mistake. It's okay to grow and learn and to teach the next generation. So if he sees that in the Houston Rockets, I think a lot of people do. So if you see that, just be like, hey, let's do our work. Let's keep our head down. Let me show you the mistakes that were made in Memphis.
Yep.
That didn't allow us to reach our peak. Let's go and not make those same mistakes in Houston. I like that for Dillon Brooks.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.